Culture. It's found in many forms of art at Cornerstone University, from the cutting-edge chapel to the distinct Moses Monument. Is this Cornerstone's way of projecting a more trendy and artistic image, or do the Golden Eagles still have their fundamentalist views?
What was your initial reaction after seeing the stained glass windows in the chapel?
Well, my first reaction was probably that they were very beautiful. Specifically, the blue windows stuck out to me, I think, with just the bright, vibrant colors of the blue and just the reminder of what it talks about as the Holy Spirit being our living water. But at the same time, I just thought they were very unique. I've never seen stained glass windows look like that.
Could it be leaning towards something that of the norm that's not the norm?
In a way, I think years back, and when we look at different centuries, like centuries past, as far as stained glass windows goes, that's something very common. But in this society, I think to some extent we are leaning to something that's not necessarily a social norm or traditional for this generation, in the sense that stained glass windows remind us of things from the past, but at the same time we live in a very visual generation. So this could be another and new way of reflecting Christ through art that we can see. It's just a matter of adjustment.
Another performing art, theater, can be quite influential in its portrayal of human life. It seems Cornerstone, however, does not favor theater as much as it does music, for the theater department is non-existent after being dropped earlier last year. The theater producer, Caroline Cahoon, describes the reasons behind the loss of the theater department and what this may mean in terms of where Cornerstone University is headed artistically.
In the spring of 2014, we were informed that theater at Cornerstone University would experience some cuts. The biggest portion of that would be the academic program of theater. So that meant the theater major was cut, the theater minor was cut, and we lost our theater faculty.
Do you think, in terms of not having a theater program per se, that Cornerstone doesn't necessarily care that much about it? Because there aren't very many fine artsy things here that I know of, except for possibly humanities and film. But other than that, there's really not much.
Sure, I can certainly understand where that perspective would come from. One of the things that I think is really great about theater at Cornerstone is that it's been part of Cornerstone University basically since we were on this campus. Cornerstone was under a different name at that time, but we moved onto this campus in 1964, and our first play happened here in 1967, which is, I think, a really exciting thing to think about, that we didn't offer any academics at that point that would lead someone into theater, but we were still doing plays. So we've had a rich history of theater here even before there was any kind of academic program. And the school has always supported those productions that we were able to do. So I think while not having an academic program maybe affects us negatively in some ways, we certainly do have the support of the school to put on the productions.
Music, theater, art, sculptures are only a few things you'll find here at Cornerstone University. With the decisions made over the past several years, could Cornerstone University be affected by the decision changes within its traditional style? Perhaps. We'll be bringing you more in the next couple of days and updates. I'm Vanika Brandon, Cornerstone University.